The following is a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Good evening, everyone. It's time for the Coach's Cage, winter edition, I guess we would say. Girls basketball coaches in tonight. Usual group: Scotty Miller running the board, Jeff Gastineau running the camera, Bill Kay right across from me. I'm Bob Kurtz. Glad you could join us tonight on 3kgthecage.com or on our Facebook page at 3KG The Cage Community Broadcasting. You can pick up the link to there to connect to our video broadcast tonight. And welcome in for the first time Joe Keller from South Newton Lady Rebels. Joe, good to see you. How's it been? How you been doing?
I've been busy.
Yes, you have. You are a busy man. Well, let's talk about what you did last year and what you did over the summertime and all that good stuff.
So we last year we didn't have a great season. We had a a lot of time spent in COVID quarantine. We had two different stretches of 3 weeks where we couldn't play a game. We had a 3-week stretch where we couldn't even practice. And then, when we got to the second half of the season, we played a game on January 12th, and next day we were quarantined, 2/3 of the team. So we had, I think, 4 kids that practiced for a week. Got some kids back. Those other 4 kids went into quarantine. And so we never, our last regular season game was January 12th, and we never had a full practice after that. And the week of sectionals, we were allowed to get 10 kids back of our group. And we played at our sectional game on Friday. That would have been the first day we were eligible to play. We wouldn't have been able to play before that. And, half our kids were in mask, and half of them only had 3 practices. And so it was pretty rough. And that's kind of the way the whole season went. Just, one of those things where we seemed like we were snake bit from the start, and it never got much better. So.
Did you have any chance to practice it in the summertime? Or
We set up some stuff in the mornings during June, and we had a few kids come in and work, but we didn't have any. We didn't have enough kids to consistently to go play anywhere or anything like that. So,
how bad was that for you, for the kids? Were you like pulling your hair out, saying, "Oh my gosh," trying to teach strangers?
It was the most frustrating thing I've ever been through.
I can imagine.
You just never, we started the season off without probably our best kid last year. She was out for first 2 weeks in terms of practices and stuff like that. And when she finally got there, she wasn't right. She was recovering from having COVID. And then, every time it seemed we'd get a kid back that we needed, we'd lose 2 more. And so it seemed like we were perpetually shorthanded, and then you can't practice because you only have 6 kids and at a practice, and if you practice this many times in a row and this kid misses it, then they have to make up 8 practices or whatever it was, and so we were always having to dodge stuff like that and do workouts individually, and it was just a mess. So it was really frustrating for us as a coaching staff. It was really frustrating for our kids, and that's one of those things that just it was kind of miserable. So
talking with you earlier, you mentioned you've always battled low numbers here at South Newton for years, and it's that case again this year, isn't it?
Yeah, we're pretty low on our numbers. We have 12 kids out this year, and we've been as low as I think we actually had 7 when I first started. This is my 6th year now, so and we've gone as high as 14, I think. 15, but we're at 12 this year. But we've already had 1 kid who's been in quarantine. She's not out till Friday, and of those 12, 2 of those kids have. One's a foreign exchange student. She's a senior. She's never played sports before this year as exchange student. She played some volleyball for us, but a couple of those kids have never played real organized basketball. So we're dealing with 6 seniors, 5 who are coming back from last year, and 1 junior who got a little bit of playing time, a lot of playing time at the JV level for us. and then 2 sophomores who have been starting for us and have been doing a good job, and then 1 sophomore. So we do have 1 freshman. We have 3 total sophomores. So.
Tell us about some of your key players that you're going to attribute for the Lady Rebels this year.
Yeah, we've got 5 seniors coming back from last year. Starting with Alexis Standish, who was our leading scorer last year. So, she averaged 12 or 13 points a game last year. Just pretty good athlete. An undersized post player or a fairly quick and good wing player. So, we're excited for her in her senior year, seeing what she's grown on. She had a good game last night when we played. Layla Ramon, another undersized post player for us. Layla's one of those kids who doesn't put up a whole lot of stats usually, but she's very solid usually, and she surprises you in games. Like, she's always seems like she's in the right spot when she needs to be, even if she's athletically overmatched sometimes because she's only 5'4", 5'5", going against some kids who are much taller than her, but she tries to get in the right spot and does a good job with that. The Conrad twins, Leah Conrad and Kara Conrad. Leah's coming back. She tore her ACL in January last year, so she got released in October. So she's coming back off that, and she's been a warrior. She's rehabbed, and she worked out hard all fall, trying to get stronger in the weight room and moving and all the things she needs to do to be physically ready. And she's been out there playing 22 to 25 minutes a game, and always checking, see, hey, how you feeling, type stuff with her. But she's been working hard on that. And then Kara, her sister, has been, I think she's battled a bad back for 3 years or 4 years now. So she's another one. She's usually either in a brace or should be in a brace to help her out. And she's been out there, same thing. She's actually played pretty well so far in 20 minutes a game. And then so we've got the 2 twins, Alexis and Layla, and then our 5th senior coming back is Jalen Marks. And Jalen, is in her 3rd year playing basketball for us, and she's just shown a tremendous amount of growth since her sophomore year, and she's ready. She's 2 blocks away from setting the all-time blocks record at South Newton. So she's pretty excited about that, and she's really stepped up on the scoring end this year and looked pretty good in practice and had a great game last night, battling foul trouble. But she's just played as big as we know she can. So we're pretty excited for it.
She must be quite an athlete to have that.
She's a
block record.
Yeah, she's a good athlete. She's got good length. She's 5'10" and long arms, and she moves pretty well. She's a softball pitcher. She's played volleyball in the past. She's ran cross country. She's a good little athlete, but she's at, I think 87 is what she needs, and so she's at 84. So she needs maybe 85 now. Needs a couple more to set it. And
We'll got to get to 100 then.
Yeah, that's you got to get those round numbers.
That's
right.
right.
So, but she has games where she has 4 or 5 of those and makes a difference, and she rebounds pretty well usually, and she's just been real good. And I'll tell you what, all our girls have, all of our seniors, all of our younger kids, they've been fantastic in practice, doing what we ask of them and working hard. And we've struggled first 2 games against some teams that pressured us pretty well, and we knew that was going to happen as we were getting used to the pace of the game and that sort of stuff. And they've just fought, and it's been good to see. So, but those 5 are coming back. They're our main 5 seniors. We have another senior, Linnea Sherman. She's from exchange student from Germany. Just a great kid, learning about basketball, but she's the biggest cheerleader kids have. And you tell her to do something, she goes out and does it. And so, she's played a little bit in the first 2 games. Megan Wright's a junior. She's been out. We're hoping to get her back next week. And then sophomore-wise, we're starting 2, and 3 of them are getting good playing time. Addison Standish is a guard for us, and she had a really good first game scoring-wise and struggled a little bit scoring-wise last night, but she's been handling the ball for us, and she's a nightmare on defense. When we play in practice, she messes us up. She's pretty tough. It frustrates us, and so it's cool to see her as a sophomore taking that advantage of her athletic ability and doing those things. And then Josie Vogt has been an undersized post for us, but she's been starting for us, and she's done a good job, and hustles, and learning what she needs to do as a post player, because she's mostly been a wing type player, but she's been working hard. And then Abby Hamilton's been working hard too, as our third sophomore there, and kind of surprised us a little bit, giving us some 5 or 6 good minutes a game the first 2 games, and hasn't done anything to not make us want to play her. So she's been aggressive. She's taken some shots, and I had her. I helped out a couple years ago at the 8th grade level when she was an 8th grader, and we had a conversation during one game, because she was wide open at the end of a quarter, and just refused to shoot it. Just wouldn't. I just took her aside right then and said, hey, you have to. Somebody has to, especially in a quarter, put it up. And it's gotten to the point now. She caught on the wing last night and attacked against a bigger girl and got fouled and went to a free throw line. And she's in practice and in games, not afraid to put that shot up. So it's been good to see her as well, getting better. And so that's pretty much it. We've got one freshman, Kelly Cruz is a freshman. She's just learning for us, and so she's played a little bit at the end of the first 2 games, but not real big numbers. But kids are good kids, and we appreciate all the effort and hustle they put into everything, and they're getting better each practice. They're getting better in games. They're getting better. So.
We're talking with South Newton girls coach Joe Keller. Joe, you played a couple games. Take us through each of those ones, if you would, please.
Yeah, we started our season off with a game at North Miami on Friday night, and I'll tell you what, North Miami's pretty big compared to us, anyways. They had about 3 kids who were just as big as our biggest kid, and twice as strong, it looked like, and just bulky compared to what ours is. So we struggled a little bit with their size, but we ran into a buzzsaw in the first quarter, and we couldn't hit a shot, and we turned the ball over, and they ran up pressure-wise against us pretty good for that first quarter, and so we were in a huge hole. And then second quarter, it was nice to see, kids weren't – they were frustrated they hadn't been able to do what they wanted, but they didn't give up, and they just fought. And, we came back. We were down 30 in that first quarter, came back in the second quarter, and kind of put it to them a little bit. And we outscored them 20-13 in that second quarter. They scored the last 5 points, I think. They hit a 3 at the buzzer. But, we had a pretty good quarter, and we were doing what we needed to. And the kids just fought, and they did that the second half as well. And we ended up, score-wise, it was 66-27. But, we were a huge deficit in that first quarter, and then played pretty well after that. So, you're not happy to get blown out, but we're happy to see the kids battle, because I think last year we went through a couple stretches where frustration from the situation, it was pretty easy for us to say, that's it. We're just going to feel sorry for ourselves and not do anything. But they didn't. They dug in, and they played good defense when we had an opportunity to, and we moved the ball offensively and got some good looks in transition. So it was good to see them bounce back in those last 3 quarters, playing hard and actually forcing North Miami to actually have to do something too. They couldn't just sit and do nothing. So
Who played well for you that game?
Our leading scorer was Addison Standish. She had a great game attacking the basket. I think she ended up with 16 points. And then everybody else was just kind of, battling and doing what they needed to. Lots of good effort defensively. Alexis, I think, had a couple steals and a breakaway, and Kara Conrad was active with her hands in the passing lane, and Jalen Marks and Josie Vogt were trying their darndest inside to battle, but they were giving up 40-50 pounds and a couple inches or more in some cases to kids. But it was a good effort by everybody, to be honest with you. So.
Okay, and then next?
Then we played last night against Seeger. Another, Seeger's always tough. But we played pretty well against them. We came out of the gate they got a little bit of a quick start. We were up 5-2, I think, on us, and then it was 8-8 and forced them into a timeout. And we struggled with that. They had a couple shooters. We were trying to protect the basket and not give up some layups. And Seeger runs a lot of stuff where they get Princeton-style offense, looking for backdoors and that high post and play through that. And we were trying to protect that back door and not get beat on the back door and protect the lane. So we knew that going in, that we were going to probably give up some outside shots. We were going to try to contest them, but they've got a couple kids who can shoot. And they hit some threes on us there to end that first quarter. So we went from 8-8 to 20-8. But after that, that little stretch, other than that, it was, they outscored us by a few here and a few there. But we battled hard once again. We played fairly good defense at times, not well enough to win. But it was a good sign. I thought we improved from Friday night. We ended up, it was 59-27. We struggled to score there for a decent stretch. Just had some good looks. Shots didn't go in. But really played pretty hard. So.
And rest of this week, what do you got?
We're actually off this week. Traditionally, we would play at Covington Friday, but I think there was some miscommunication on our end with schedules and contracts being renewed and not renewed. Especially with COVID last year, we were flying around trying to fill games and cancel games, and so I think we dropped Covington. So we won't be playing them this year, but that's, we love playing those guys. They're great matchup for us usually, and coaches are great down there and everything. So unfortunately, we added a game because we thought we didn't have one or they had one or whatever. But so we don't get to play them. We're off till next Tuesday against Covenant Christian. So
Covenant Christian, okay.
Yep.
Well, what are your thoughts since it's our first time to talk to you, talk about the Midwest Conference?
It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good players, a lot of older players in the league. So, there's been years in the past where there's been a lot of fresh stuff, but North White, probably everything goes through them like it has for the last few years, and they've got a lot of juniors and seniors that are good, and their younger kids play well as well. So you're looking at them. North Newton's got a bunch of older kids that are pretty good players, a lot of size compared to us anyways. Frontier's got the Lissac girl who's a senior, who's a pretty good scorer, and some other pieces around her. So you start looking. There's a lot of decent teams that you're going to have to bring your A game every night, and that's just what we're kind of used to anyways. Midwest Conference, it doesn't matter the records. Usually you're going to go and fight each other and do that. West Central, I know they're kind of in the same boat as us with not a whole lot of kids, but they're going to play hard every night. It's not going to be an easy. We never play well against them anyways. Like even when we feel like we should, but they always make it tough on us. And Tri-County's got some kids.
Got a big game next week at Tri-County. We're going to be there for that one.
We got next Thursday. We're at Tri-County, and that's our first conference game. And
you guys always, South Newton and Tri-County always fire up for each other, don't
We've
they?
had some interesting battles. Like last year we played them, and that was one of our games we got in around the COVID mess, and it was a knockdown, drag-out fight. I don't know if it was good basketball, but it was interesting. It was an interesting game. I think it ended up like 32-27 or something like that, and we were both kind of slow playing a little bit. But traditionally, we've had some good games since I've been here, and they've got some kids who are decent and seniors, and they got some freshmen who are going to contribute, and it's never easy. So.
What do you hope to accomplish this year? What's your goals for the Lady Rebels?
Well, the first thing is we want to play hard all the time. We want to whether we're up big, down big, whatever. We want to make sure that we're giving the effort that we can. I don't think we had that last year. We talked about that as a team. Like that got away from what our expectations were. I think we felt sorry for ourselves. We were mad about the situation. All that good stuff, and so we talked at the beginning of the year that we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So we want to do that. We want to get better every game. We want to get better every practice. You know, all the things that every coach wants to do, playing your best at the end. But, you know, we want to win a dang game. We want to win as many as possible, but we're sitting on a losing streak right now that we really want to get rid of here as
Well,
quickly as possible.
Take an example off
there
the
you
football
go.
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah.
Boy, once they got that taste, then they just
Yeah.
rolled with it, didn't they?
Yeah, and you know, our kids, they've really bought in right now. You know, we've talked about, we knew the first few games here especially, you know, we're dressing 9. We've got another kid, Corinne Lotta, who is a sophomore, who's first year in the program. She's played a little bit in middle school, who's not quite got enough practices yet. So when she joins us, we're going to have 10. And for the foreseeable future, you know, we're dressing 10. Hopefully 8 of those are probably going to get pretty decent time for us. But they've got to get better. They've got to play well together. And so we're hoping every time we play, we just get a little bit better. You know, we've got some tough teams on our schedule. You know, I told our athletic director, I said, there's not an easy game on our schedule. You go from, you know, you play Seeger, our next game's Covenant Christian, and they're very similar in terms of what they want to do, but they're very different in how they're built. You know, Covenant Christian is throwing 5-6 footers at you most nights. You know, they just rotate them in, and they're always physical, and then, you know, they're quick. They get those soccer girls and other kids in there, and so you go from that to a Tri-County who's built a little bit differently but does a lot of the similar stuff, and then you just every night you're going to get beat up by people. You're going to, you know, be outsized by a lot of people. So we just have to fight and take advantage of what we can. And the girls have really bought into that. They've done a good job in practice. And as coaches, you know, we've got 4 coaches that are there on a regular basis, and myself and Brittany Deedham, who's been around the program for quite a bit now, and then Alex Gross, who's been our high school assistant the last couple years and is going to be our 8th grade coach this year. And then Corey Glatt, who's going to be is at our high school position this year. Between the 4 of us, we've been working as much as we can in practice. Coach Robbins, volleyball coach, comes in and helps us out. She's been in there a couple times as a volunteer, helping out as well. And, you know, there's nights we play them, and we're like, man, they're beating the crud out of us, which, you know, the last 2 years they really haven't been able to. But they've made us, I don't know if we're just getting older, but they've made us feel older anyways. So it's a good sign there. But they're working hard. They're making us work hard. And so you see that getting better. And they've had great attitudes about it. And they've really worked. And now we just need to get off that schneid of that long losing streak. And hopefully it rolls after that. But, you know, if we're playing hard in every game and competing in every game, I'm good with that. We know that our 8 kids that we're playing most games against teams like Rensselaer, who are running athlete after athlete after athlete out there, and some other teams like that, we might not be able to compete size-wise, but we want to make sure that when they get done playing that they know that they competed with us and we competed with them. So.
And unfortunately, another consequence for having low numbers is no JV team again.
Yeah, you know, we're going to try to play some JV when we can. We know we're not going to be able to play JV until the first week of December. That'll be the earliest. But we're playing. We've got 5 seniors who are playing quite a bit.
But you say that if you do play JV, it'd be on a different night than the varsity.
We're probably going to have to because you know we're playing 5 seniors, quite a bit of varsity, and then we're starting 2 sophomores. So we only have 12 kids. Another one of those is a senior. We've got a junior and some kids, a couple younger kids who aren't. But it's not fair to anybody for us to roll out 5 kids, not have a sub, not be able to play those other kids' quarters. It makes us not competitive at any level.
What's the rule for quarters?
5 a night.
You can play 5 a night.
You can play 5 a night.
Okay.
But the way I look at it is, if I'm starting a kid in the varsity level, they're not going to play JV.
Right.
So
that cuts it.
And then,
cuts it in half right there. Then
yeah, it does. And then most of our seniors aren't going to play.
Right.
We've got one senior who's never played before, so she's okay to play JV. But most of our other seniors, JV's not for seniors.
Right.
So you start looking at that. Now you've got 7 kids who are varsity kids only. If everything continues the way it is, so that leaves us 5 kids. So it makes it really tough to play this JV the same night as varsity.
Right.
It might change,
Okay.
we might get a kid or two that comes out, or we might have a situation change or something. But it's just really hard, especially when Leah's coming back from her knee injury. She can't be counted on to play
Right.
32 minutes in a game.
Right.
And some other kids, same thing. It just wears on you if you're doing that all the time. So.
Joe, I appreciate your candor and honesty. We really enjoy talking with you, and hope you can come every week. And we'll do your game against Tri-County next week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, okay?
Sounds good. Real quickly, though, tomorrow's Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
Want to say something to all our veterans. Thanks for your service. South Newton has traditionally done a in-person service celebration of veterans, and just because of the age of the veterans, we were leery of doing that this year. So we put together a nice little online video ceremony. A lot of our kids worked really hard putting it together, and
This was student produced then, huh?
a lot of student work in it.
Cool.
Students did a lot of the videotaping of the interviews and that sort of stuff, and so we're
And you're in charge of
proud
that then, huh?
That's part of my daily class for interactive media, and we're pretty proud of it. And we're going to show that it's going to be live tomorrow morning on our YouTube channel, and just wanted to say thanks to all the veterans. I come from a family. I know you've got family. You guys are, affected every day by that stuff. So,
Joe, if people want to go ahead and see that tomorrow, can they?
yeah, they can look at it. It's on YouTube.
Go to
Yeah, it's going to be on our YouTube site. South Newton Video, I
South
think, is what the name is. So,
and
Okay.
what time is that?
it'll go live at like 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. But
So anytime after 7?
anytime, yeah, it'll pop in there.
You got some nice equipment to work with, too. I'm
We
telling you
do.
that.
We do. I've put some money of my own into there.
Have
and
you really?
Yeah, I've put a lot of my stuff. Something you find interesting. I think you invest in those things, whether it's a hobby or whether it's professionally.
Sure.
And then our school's done a good job of supporting us. So, we've done some good stuff. And like I said, we're pretty proud of what came together with this. And our kids worked hard. And I worked a lot of hours myself. But we had a lot of contributions from a lot of people. So
Thanks, Joe.
Great.
thanks, guys.
Joe Keller, South Newton girls coach, back with more of the Coach's Cage program right after this.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117, or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh,
man,
boy!
I make it look good.
Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? Arnie's is lit up now. So.
There you go.
Wes Radke has, if you didn't know that already, has joined us there. But he just, Wes, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing just great. Glad to be here. Glad to have some good pizza and
That's
good
right.
fellowship, and
That's
it's been
right.
a good time, and seeing some of my favorite people.
Coach, you ought to be doing good. You're on a roll. Wow, out the gates, 3-0.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good right now, and 3-0. It's been I don't know, 5-6 years of starting 3-0. Usually we get have a hard time the first couple games, but so far so good. The girls are really in tune, and it's not anything that I've done. I credit it to the girls, and just proud of what they've been doing so far.
I'm looking at your scores. They're all big wins, too. Beat West Central 68-31 in your opener. Came back to knock off North Judson rather handily, 61-35, and then knocked off Hanover, who's always been a challenge in recent years.
Yeah.
Hanover Central, 65-39. So, wow, 3 big wins.
Yeah, and all three of those teams are good teams and good, well coached, and in the North Judson team gave us a chance to redeem ourselves after the last time we played there in that gym, and it was good. I saw a lot of great things out of those young ladies, and it was fun to watch and fun to be a part of, and then we turn around last night and go to Hanover Central. Like you said, over the years, man, it's always been a battle. Last year we only beat them by 3 points at our place, and it was just a battle, and you go up there to the region and that part of the region up there, and they love basketball. They love to fight with it and go hard, and last night we just found another level there and was able to turn things up and got a nice win.
Take us through everything, all the games.
So you want to go West Central all the way through?
Well, you could summarize it. I don't care.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm winning, I'll talk to you all day long.
I know.
That's it, man. We can start. But we start up that varsity game at West Central. They didn't have a JV, and Coach Mellon does a great job there. And we come out the first quarter of that game, and it was 7-7. And I'm thinking, whoa, we're in for a long night here. We just had a lot of shots, just weren't falling, and it was something that we just had to try to get over there early on, and finally that second quarter we started turning up the intensity and the pressure and started hitting some shots and riddled off some points, and I was able at halftime to go in 31-12 and really never looked back after that. Came back out the second half, and everybody just continued to contribute to the offense and hitting some shots and playing defense, and we had a good night there. Had 3 people in double figures, and Jesse Ringen led us with 21 that night, and Morgan Van Meter had 15. They both shot the ball well. Then Abby Ayler had 12. And then you look down, and Taylor Van Meter, freshman coming off the bench, had 8. Kenzie Moore had 6. And you get a kid like Sarah Kaufman coming off the bench and being a spark and just getting some defensive stops and touches and rebounds and made some nice passes. And so we did some really good things that game. And Avery Kane, even though she didn't score much in this game, did a really nice job distributing the basketball, running the offense, and did some nice things for us on defense. So we ended up winning that game 68-31. Then we go to a game we've been looking at and circling on our schedule for a long time with that unfinished business that we haven't gotten to yet. And we start off, 18-2 in the first half.
At North Judson.
At North Judson, we come out. I mean, we're just clicking. Things are going well. Morgan's hitting shots. Kenzie Moore kind of got in foul trouble a little bit, so Taylor Van Meter came in and started hitting shots right away. And Jessie was struggling with her shot that night, and so we had some people step up and do some different things. And we're going at halftime up 30-12, still feeling pretty good about things. And so we started to continue to build upon that, and we ended up scoring 61-35, really pulled away, really put the clamps down on them, really shut down their scores, and it was a fun game to be at. I mean, we're passing the ball, we're sharing the basketball, and it's just fun watching the kids do that. And
you probably didn't get mad in the second half that night.
I did.
Oh, darn it.
Because we let them score 35.
Oh.
I didn't want them to score 10, but they did. So we got past that. Everybody lived and survived. But we went into that game. After that game, Taylor Van Meter came off the bench and had 19 off the bench. And then, Morgan had 9. Avery Kane and Abby Ayler both pitched in 7. Lola Chamness had 6 that game. Jessie, who normally leads us in scoring, had 7 that night. But she did a ton of other things that a good player at her level does. When the shot's not falling, you do other things to contribute to the game, and she did. She found ways to help the team, and again, Sarah Kaufman came in that second half especially. She got some fouls early on, and came in the second half and really started doing some nice things for us defensively and get some putbacks and some layups, and we just pulled away, and it was nice to be able to do that. And again, getting that big win at 61-35 and getting that monkey off our back, because it's been 6 years again, and that's the first time we beat North Judson at North Judson. So it was a good win for us, a sectional opponent that we may see again down the road.
How is it you always space out the name Van Meter? It's like for 15 years in a row here there's been Van Meters. Just stringing them out here. That's good timing.
Well, you have to talk to Kelly and Eric about that. I just coach him. That's all I do. He just brings them and I coach him. That's what we do. And they, good quality family of basketball intelligence.
The timing's just been about right for each.
It's been really good. When you look at all the players that we've had throughout the years that I've been here and the talent that we've had, and yes, I know it's been rough up and down and things, but we've had some really good ball players, and the Van Meter family has definitely produced some quality basketball players, and it's good on my half to be a recipient of that, and there's still more to come as far as there's some more Radkes coming. There obviously my daughter Bailey plays, and I got a younger one in 8th grade, and we got some other girls coming along, and having the kids like Kaufman. I mean, that's a name that Sarah Kaufman. It seems like she's been playing for us for a long time, and she's only a sophomore. You get some other things going here, and you see Jessie Fleming and a Carly Drone, and these names that you're going to continue to see over and over and over again, which is good for a guy like me, that these families are established and understand what we're looking for and understand what we want, and just helps feed the history of what we have going on.
All right, then another road win?
And then another road win. Now, we've been on the road.
How's the mindset for getting these road wins? Because usually playing on the road's tough.
With these girls, I've told them several times, when I look at Avery Kane in the eyes, when I look at Abby Ayler in her eyes, when I look at some of these other girls, there's something different about them this year, and maybe it's because it's their last time and they have been doing this a long time, that they are in tune with what I'm asking them to do. And whether it's on the road or at home, they've really responded really well to the challenges and what I'm asking them to do. And I'm telling you, fellas, so far it's been a different atmosphere in the gym and in the locker room than what I've had in the past, where it just seems like we're all connected, all on the same page, and they know what I want, I know what they want, and it's working really well right now.
Just play on the road then all the time.
But I don't know.
You don't want to do that, do you?
Not all the time, because then it gets a little bit long on you.
Okay.
But we do have one more tomorrow night, and we'll get to talk about that one. But we made that long trip to Hanover Central, and like you alluded to, in the past, it's been just a fight for us, a dog fight. I mean, back and forth all the time with them. And we go up there last night, and we come out, and Jessie's hitting again and playing really well. And then she gets in foul trouble. She gets her third foul and second foul in the middle of the first quarter, and has to sit almost the entire second quarter. and then also Morgan got hers, and then Taylor got hers, and then Sarah Kaufman got her fouls, and so we got people on the bench and got young kids on the floor, and that's what's nice about this team that I have this year is we have the depth to be able to, if somebody's struggling either offensively, defensively, or in foul trouble, we can put people in, shuffle them in, and not miss a beat. So we had some, really good play from Abby Ayler last night, and she did a really good job. And then Avery Kane, again, I can't say enough about this kid so far as the point guard. And, she has 12 big points for us. She's hitting layups. She's dribbling the basketball. She's playing defense. I mean, she was just, carrying the load there for a while some of these girls were on the bench with foul trouble and kept us going in the game, and especially that third quarter. And she just really did a nice job. And then the second half, Jessie comes back in after the foul trouble and settles down and gets into the game flow and really just lets the game start coming to her. And she starts knocking down some shots, and she ends up leading us with 20 points last night. And Avery Kane had 12. And, again, Taylor Van Meter had 11. So there's three kids in double figures that I haven't had in a while in the past. And then you got Morgan Van Meter scratching on, she had 9, and Sarah Kaufman on 7. So we got some players that were really close to getting double figures again. So it was a really good balanced scoring for us. I sat down with a gentleman.
You sat down?
Yeah, for a little bit.
There's no way.
Well, it was at the end of the game. The game was over.
Oh, okay. There I go. Okay.
The game was over.
Gotcha.
So I had a reporter who wanted to talk, and he said, Coach, I've watched your teams for the past 6 years. He said, this is maybe one of the best teams that I've seen you have as far as sharing the basketball. And there were times last night where we turned the ball over too much because we were trying to make that fantastic pass, or we were trying to thread the needle a little bit too much. And so we had to really, focus with the girls to not try to make that all-star pass all the time. Just make the simple basic pass, and the next one, if it's there, it'll be there. And we really started focusing on that the second half, and then we started getting some nicer passes and finishing off the plays, and it was fun to watch and be a part of. So we ended up winning that game 65-39.
How much of a perimeter team are you guys as far as shooting the ball? Do you guys like the three-pointer?
Oh, we do. And I like the girls to be able to, hit shots on the outside. That's something that I've always tried to emphasize with them with our play in the past. And this year especially, Jessie can hit the three. Kenzie Moore can hit the three. Avery hit a three in this game. Morgan can hit a three.
Does everybody have a green light?
Yeah. Other than, I would say everybody, there's some girls that they know they don't belong on the outside out there, so they know that there are limitations of where they're at. I don't think Abby Ayler, I don't give her the green light shot there. I'm not saying she can't, but I've really tried, and last night with her especially, to hit that 16, 17-foot range jump shot, to be able to pull, because she's usually got the bigger girl guarding her.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, you've really got to start being consistent in that jump shot to pull those girls out away from the rim to open up some lanes for us. And so last night she did that, and she hit 2 or 3 shots, outside jump shots that I've been trying to give her confidence to do, and she knocked them down. And so that's something that we're going to continue to work on with her to help spread the floor out for us more, to be that threat.
We're talking with the Lady Bomber coach, Wes Radke, tomorrow night on 3KG, thekage.com.
Our girls basketball opener.
That's right.
With video.
With video, absolutely.
Stepping up in the world.
From Tri-County as the Rensselaer Bombers continue their road trip against Missy Tyler and the Lady Cavs. Give us your scouting report there.
They've played one game against a tough Pioneer team. We watched that film and were able to break it down a little bit. And she's, Missy's got them playing hard. They're going to give us everything we can handle. She's got a young group that's long and able to do some things as far as defensively with the pressure they put on. And so we're going to look to have to be able to box out and handle their pressure and keep them off the boards, because that's one thing we have to continue to get better at. And it's one thing we struggled with the other night and that we keep harping on. And so we're going to have to bring, that A game, because anything can happen any given night. And we've been on the road, you're right, the last 3 times. This is road game number 4, and we have to, can't just get off the bus and show up. We got to put things into motion to what we've been working on in practice and handling the pressure and executing properly and taking care of the basketball.
And they've changed the JV game times, moved it up, right?
5 o'clock.
Yeah,
5 o'clock JV time tip off, and again excited because there is a JV game because some schools aren't able to field a JV team. So excited for that opportunity to do that tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, and looking forward to a good game for us.
And then what's the rest of this week and next week?
So then we come back Saturday night for our first home game against Knox, which in the past couple of years they've had our number. Early on when I first started coaching, we would beat them pretty good, and then Coach Minnick's turned things around there a little bit with the group he had, and so it's some unfinished business there we have with them that we've got to take care of on Saturday. They're long. They'll sit in the 3-2 zone the entire game. They won't come out of it. They'll sit in that 3-2 zone the whole entire game, and just if you're hitting, then it's good for you. If you're not, it can be a long night. So hopefully we're hitting and we're ready to go and handle things. And then we look at that IU shootout that's taking place down at Harrison and McCutcheon. And our first game will be Tuesday night against Harrison at Harrison. Harrison just played Marion and put a good shellacking on Marion the other night. So they're going to be loaded and ready to go. And it's the first time Rensselaer's been in this tournament. So it's going to be a good challenge for us, and it's something that we need to be challenged to see where we stand at with things. And
then you won't know who you play depending on who wins and loses.
Right. So we would play the winner of Twin Lakes and Lafayette Jeff. So we play the winner of one of those two. So we could end up playing Twin Lakes, which is a conference foe, which is already on our schedule. We could end up playing them again, and then or Lafayette Jeff. So the plan is if you win 2 games, you're into the championship of that tournament, which that's what we're going for, and that's what we're shooting for. But I told the girls we have to bring our very best game every night. You can't slack off. You can't take things for granted. And this is the type of tournament that I've been looking to try to get these girls in for a long time.
So is this something you're going to do every year, or is this a one-year deal?
No, as far as I know, it's for a while here.
Oh, okay.
And
good competition, I'm
good
sure.
competition, great atmosphere. Not that far. It's good travel. It's good atmosphere to be in. Good quality basketball, and the nice thing about it is we see each other a lot. A lot of our kids, from Harrison to Lafayette Jeff to CC, all the way through all of our conference, these young kids coming up through have already played against each other because down at Legacy we play against each other all the time, and then they see each other all the time now, and either on AAU circuits or whatever. So it's kind of nice to be in that atmosphere and give us that chance to continue to get our schedule stronger. So when it comes time for sectional time, we've seen it all. We've played against the best, and so we have really no excuse not to win the whole sectional.
Go ahead.
How's the camaraderie with the girls so far this year? These girls have been playing together. This group of seniors, you probably have the strongest group of seniors you've had in maybe your time here at Rensselaer, numbers-wise.
Yeah, this group has been on our radar for a long time, this senior group. Even when they were in middle school, when I first got here and I first had a chance to sit down and watch them play, I thought there's great possibilities here, some good effort and good players, and looking forward to what they did for us. And they've rode that the entire time, put their time in, and last year was rough at times trying to figure things out, no senior leadership, and now this year I feel really in tune with the ladies. They all seem to be on the same page. They all seem to be for that common goal, getting that same thing in the end, and so it's nice to be able to have that, and I attribute that to the fact that these seniors have been doing it a long time. Somebody asked me the other day, in years past, you would get a little upset when things didn't go exactly the way you wanted them to, and they said this year we kind of noticed you kind of sat back a little bit, and I said, well, these seniors have been through enough, they've seen enough, they know how to handle things, and so there comes the part of it with me as a coach where I have to start to learn to trust them more. They've done this enough. I just got to learn to trust them and not try to dictate everything with them and let them figure some things out, and which will make us a better team in the long run.
Before I let you go, always got to ask about the junior varsity Lady Bombers. How are we doing?
They played their first game. Actually, they played their second game, and they're 2-0 right now. We did some switching around in our coaching staff. Coach Mans is now my assistant, and Coach Van Meter now is my JV coach, just to try to mix things up a little bit. And so he's picked up right where Amanda left off, was doing a phenomenal job with the JV. We have some young players. We have some, some sophomores and a couple a junior there, and some freshmen that are fun to watch. Last night they hit 7 threes in a JV game.
Wow.
They were filling it up, and it was fun to watch.
Sometimes you don't score that many points in a JV game.
I know,
21,
and sometimes we give up that many points, and it's not good. So they did a lot of nice things last night, and I'm excited to watch them play. And I love when they have a JV game because that gives them more opportunities. And I'll be honest with you, in practice, it makes good for us in practice too, because it challenges our varsity team. It makes them have to step it up and do some things. And, tonight was a perfect example. That JV team, I put them in there against some of our varsity, and they were giving them all they could handle. When they start hitting it, they're on fire. They're tough to stop, and they're a young group with a lot of athleticism and fun to watch. And a lot of them play, actually all of them at this point right now are pretty much dressing, all of JV and then dressing all of varsity, and they'll get minutes here or there. And, with those kind of scores, it allows you to have a little more freedom in that fourth quarter to throw some of them in there and to reward them for their efforts in practice. And so it's been good. It's been really good to have that JV team and their abilities to do some things. And looking forward to what they do the rest of this year. And they'll also play in that IU shootout down there. There's a JV tournament that's involved in that as well. So we'll be in that as well.
So check out my math now. But by the end of next week, you're going to have 8 games played?
Yes. I know. 8 games played, and not
a couple weeks,
and not enough practice time. Maybe the girls don't mind it, but for me, it's like we got to do this, we got to fix this, we got to fix that, and now it's game, and then practice, and then now you got to. So it's one of those things where it's 8 games, and the season's going so fast, and you could either be 8-0, you could be whatever it could be, 5-3, 5, whatever that might be. But the most important thing I tell the girls is I want them to be playing good basketball. Not our best at this point. We want to win every game, but I want our best to be towards the end where we're going into sectionals. But I'm telling you right now, they're fun to watch and fun to be around. I enjoy coaching them. It's been a true blessing so far this year, and I look forward to what the rest of this year has to hold.
We look forward to open our season tomorrow night at Tri-County, and come on up after the game, all right?
I hope you're in a better mood when you come in tomorrow, too.
I'll try to be. I'll try and get some sleep and be better, okay? I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's touch and go with him. You never know. You never know which Kurt's going to get.
Yeah, is grouchy old man, or is he a good man, or what? Have to make some cookies or something. I don't know. Make him.
Wes, always a pleasure.
All right, yes. Good to be with you guys, and thank you so much for everything you guys do.
Thanks, Coach. See you tomorrow.
All right, see you.
Wes Radke, Rensselaer Central Lady Bombers. Back and talk with Brian Heimlich from North White right after this.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117, or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics. Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Bill Kay and Bob Kurtz with you at Arnie's. Thank Arnie's, as always, for feeding our coaches and giving them drinks as well as us. Do appreciate that every Wednesday, and we'll be here every Wednesday, except a few times at the end of the year here. So Brian Heimlich stepped in to join us now. Brian, talked with Wes Radke. He had 3 games to talk about. You only have 1, right?
Yeah, we have, since the beginning of the season, we didn't even get a scrimmage either. So
really?
We just had had our first game on Saturday. So it's been kind of, looking at other teams. You look at the scoreboards and things. A lot of teams have played 2-3 games already, and we've just had 1.
But you don't mind that, you say?
No, I mean I don't. At this time of the year, I think it's easier to get kids to practice at this time of the year than it is the end of the year. I mean, you get towards the end of the year, and they start getting worn down and things like that, and so it's nice to have a game. You can go back 3 or 4 days and work on things that you see in that game, and then maybe have another game and do the same thing. And then
what you're going to do, right?
Yeah, and then eventually you start getting into those 2-game. I think we have a 3-game stretch in there, and then the tournament over Christmas, and it becomes more of that routine of 2 games, 3 games.
Tell us about who you played, the score, and about each of the quarters.
Yeah, so we North Miami came over to our place, and like I said, it was their 3rd game of the season, and they had a scrimmage, and so that kind of worried me going into it, just because we didn't get a scrimmage. Couts had won their volleyball sectional and regional, and so that was who we were supposed to scrimmage, and we were unable to pick one up. We had kind of looked, and so just when you're going against yourselves and you don't get to go out there and just kind of get a gauge of where you're at and what you need to work on. During the week leading up to that game, I know I had mentioned to the girls a couple times, we're not going to be able to get away with some of the passes that we're throwing in practice, against our JV kids. And, early on I thought that did hinder us. They came out in a little trap, and it wasn't that we weren't executing, being where we were. We just threw some passes that, probably would have made it in a JV against our JV, and they weren't against the varsity team. But we did start out fairly, once we got past the first 2 or 3 minutes, I think we got out to an 8-3 lead, and then, but by the end of the quarter, we were down 10-8, and we also were missing one of the girls that we were probably going to be first one off the bench for that game. She had kind of injured her foot probably about 3 or 4 practices leading up to that game, and we just felt it was best to hold her out, talking with the trainer and such. So, depth-wise, we were a little lacking as well. And, sometimes early in the season, that's not, if your conditioning's not all there. And but, the girls, for the most part, I thought did a good job. The second quarter, we outscored them 12-9. and then we still held the lead at the end of the third quarter. Again, it was close too. And actually, in the fourth quarter, though, we struggled the first 2-3 minutes of that fourth quarter. We watched film the other day and with the girls, and just throughout the game, there were a lot of points throughout the game. I thought we had opportunities to push the lead out, and we would make a mistake, miss a couple free throws, and just opportunities to maybe push the lead 5-6 points, where then they're going to struggle, maybe rush a shot down at the other end. And I think we were up 2 in 3 straight possessions. We turned it over and missed two free throws, and then all of a sudden they hit a 3. We come down, turn it over, they hit another 3, and they're up. I think we were down 4 with about 5 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes to go. But then the rest of the game, we outscored them 11-0.
Oh.
So that was
nice way to finish.
It was a great way to finish. The girls.
What was the key during that 11-0 run?
We got some big stops. That was a big thing, was stops on the defensive end. We finally were covering, where we needed to be, and some of the coverage in our zone, I think, was attributed. We didn't get a see. Obviously, I say when we run it in practice against our JV, it's not always the same that you see against a varsity team. You have to be a little quicker in your rotations and things like that. And I thought we did adjust. We talked about it at halftime, and then again had a timeout or two in the third quarter, fourth quarter, and I think we got out to some shooters, and then we're able to rebound, and then we converted on at the other end. Tie game, big stretch, probably about 3 minutes ago or so. Abigail Spry pulled up for a 3 in transition and hit it, kind of broke the game. I said it was tied, and 3-point lead at that point. The way the game had gone was huge, and we got some stops, and we did hit a couple free throws down the stretch just to widen that lead out and put some pressure on them. But free throw shooting, we did struggle though. We were 12 of 22 from the free throw line, so we missed 10 opportunities there. Put some points on the board, and then just some inopportune turnovers. I think our guards struggled entering the ball in the post. We told them, I said I mentioned to them practice, but multiple times during film session, trying to lob it where, it's easy when you're going against yourselves, but, we get against varsity teams. So that's been a big emphasis this week, and that's like when I say you get chances to go back and practice, if you just had one day and you had to turn around and play again, you don't get those opportunities to kind of put it in their head multiple times. And so I think we've tried to emphasize that, and hopefully, come Friday night when we take the floor again, some of those things, it's in their head, and we'll eliminate some of those mistakes.
I know you and Bill were talking before on that some of the girls had a good game that night.
Yeah, so I mean, our guards, I said, struggled, passing the ball, but I thought for the most part they did some good things too in transition. But our post players, Kate Kahn and Tessa Robertson had big nights. Kate had 12 points and 16 rebounds. I think I mentioned
16 rebounds
last week. Ooh. That I'd really been impressed with her in practice. Just her effort all around. Leadership on the court. But yeah, and she never came out of the game either. She played the entire game, and just
nothing like easing them into a season there, right, Brian?
Yeah. And part of that, I said they had some size. I mean, they really did, and so it struggled to put some of our smaller kids in just because of the size they had. And then but Tessa had 19 points and 11 rebounds, and it was kind of her points were all kind of spread out. Where Kate, I think, had 8 of her 12 in the first half. Tessa was just kind of 2, 4, 8. 4. I mean, it was just kind of spread out with every quarter. But she 5 of 6 from the free throw line, and got a couple big offensive rebound putbacks. But those two, 31 points and 27 rebounds. You get that from your posts every night. You're going to be pretty happy with that. And now it's just a matter of our guards realizing we've got a couple good posts there. We've talked to them about that. Just getting them touches. It doesn't have to. They don't have to score every time, but just getting them touches, the guards are going to get some open looks on the on that 3-point line. a lot of times just going inside out. And so it's just a matter of, figuring things out. Like I said, we had the injury and we played with Lindsay all summer. And so now it's just figuring everything else out and getting the group, how are we going to play without that? And, I think eventually we will. But it was a good start. It's always nice to start off the year with a win. I think we struggled at times, but that's what you learn from. So hopefully the girls, will take this week of practice and, put that to the test on Friday night.
Let's talk about your schedule ahead coming up.
Yeah, so we got Friday, Caston comes over, sectional opponent. They're playing pretty well right now. They're 3-0. So, again, it's somebody that has played. It'll be their fourth game. It's just going to be our second. But they've got they didn't lose much from last year's team, and they had a very solid season last year. Coach does a great job with them. They play hard. They don't have the size that North Miami had, but I believe they're quicker, just very aggressive. They're going to get after you defensively and try to push the tempo offensively. Got some good young kids. I mean, they had a couple freshmen that played, a lot of minutes for them last year, are now sophomores, and they're going to be a very good test for us. Like I said, it's a sectional opponent, so our big thing is just trying to improve on things that we've worked on this week, and try to make that, improve those things, and then see where we're at going into the following week. We have just one game again against Winamac, so. Like I said, our schedule's kind of light here, so we've got them and then Winamac, and then it'll start picking up a little bit. But it'll be a good game for us on Friday night.
Did you get a JV game in the other night?
Yeah, we did. We had our JV, and the one thing I had, as coaches, we had kind of thought, man, our JV. They struggle against us, but we have a lot of older kids. Our first, 5, 6, 7 kids are all juniors and seniors, and so our JV is there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there that have not, been against that kind of competition, and they struggle against us in practice at times. And I think they came out and they won 39-13, I believe, against North Miami, and just some of the things that the girls were doing out there were things we're telling them to practice, but I think against our varsity they just can't do because our varsity is just that much quicker and stronger. And we were looking, we're like, well, they're not going against varsity kids, so they looked good. I thought they did a nice job, and I think that'll give them confidence to practice, against us, and hopefully come out and give the competition. I know I think I heard Coach earlier just saying some things about just the competition in practice, and that's what we need from them, is just giving us, giving that varsity, pushing them, but it's going to make them better as well. So, I thought they did a nice job coming out on Saturday.
One more thing before I let you go. We're talking with North White girls coach Brian Heimlich. Brian, I always like to talk with Class A coaches about the numbers game. West Central's way down numbers. South Newton went down for several years in numbers. It doesn't seem like you have that problem.
Well, we don't right now. We hope not to have that. Our sophomore class is a little low in numbers, but we've been able to kind of compensate with that. That's the big thing, is if you do have a class, because in Class A, a lot of times inevitably there's going to be some point in time you're going to have a class that you maybe only get one or sometimes none. I know a few years ago we had a class that we didn't have a senior in, but you just hope that those classes around them, you've got the numbers and enough girls that can kind of fill those gaps, and that's what's kind of helped us right now with this sophomore group. And we just hope our 7th and 8th grade group coming up will be able to fill that void as well when that group gets to be seniors. I always say if you can get 3 or 4, that's going to give you that 12 to 16. You hope you're closer to that 15, 16 range, so you can have a JV varsity, because you start getting down to where you don't get JV games. I think that's when you start losing kids. When I helped coach even football at West Central, I think that's where some of these teams, football-wise it hurts them is, if you don't have JV and you have some of those, even the kids that are out, you may lose them because they're not playing. They don't get that playing time as freshmen and sophomores, whereas, a number of years ago you always had JV and varsity games at football, and I think that hurts them. They don't play, so they don't. Why do I want to go out? And so that's the big thing, is just hopefully you keep them out, keep playing your JV games and things like that, and they improve. They see the older kids in your program and see what it takes, and hopefully you keep everybody out and get more coming.
Brian, are there other things too you have to keep mind of as far as trying to keep it fun for the girls, just to, other than just playing time in the games?
Yeah, I mean, especially at the younger level, I think we talked about that last week, just keeping it more fun, more rather than the wins losses. But in the high school level, for us, I think our biggest thing is just trying to keep it, because we want them playing multiple sports, just trying to keep them. I've coached track the last 4 years, so trying to, if they're not in playing softball, try to get them interested in track and doing things, and then we can kind of keep them involved that way. And just being around the other girls, and that way you keep that camaraderie, and hopefully all of them, then volleyball or cross country. Try to keep them in being involved. I mean, that's the big thing. Just being involved is probably the biggest.
And isn't it pretty neat? Just correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't North White have soccer teams too?
And soccer as well.
That's got to be
yes.
one of those,
yes.
Class A schools that have soccer. That's kind of unheard of, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot around our area for sure, but we do have the soccer.
Both boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Wow.
And that has been a big key in getting kids involved too in the school and the last few years, and it does, and then it just keeps. I think it just keeps your school atmosphere positive. I mean, when you get that, get out as many kids as you can involved in extracurricular activities, it's everybody's cheering each other on, and asking them what they're doing, how they're doing in those sports, or whatever it may be. But those kids have really taken to that, and I think it's just made the atmosphere a lot better, because when you have all those sports that are involved. So.
Can you tell this early in the year if you guys, your squad, be as good as some of the recent teams you've had go through North White girls?
I mean, it's hard early in the year to always kind of see that. I mean, you're hoping you're going to play better in the year, better at the end of the year, and I think. Right now, we're not where we want to be, just because, like I said, losing a player like we did, where we had practiced with her all summer, it takes a little bit just to adjust to that and way we want to play now, because, I mean, we're going to play a little differently than we probably would have.
How's she doing, by the way? Is she?
Yeah, give us an update if you can.
Yeah, she'll, well, actually a week from tonight, we'll be in Indy. She has her surgery Wednesday.
We'll let you
morning.
Pass on this show then next week. Then.
And so she'll have her surgery, and then she stays overnight, and then then it's just rehab. For a week they put her on a machine and keep her knee moving and getting it back, and then it just goes from there. But yeah, she's getting ready for that. Everything.
And what grade is she in?
Senior.
Oh, she's a senior.
Yep.
Wow.
So mentally, she's okay with it so far.
Yeah, she's
ready to handle the.
It's tough. It's tough. There's ups and downs. Obviously, when it first happened, it's very frustrating, and then you kind of get over it. But then I think the kind of lull between when it was and surgery and.
Now, why do they have to wait so long on the surgery? Why is that?
More the getting your strength back in your leg, and the knee, just getting everything, the range of motion back. It's actually, a lot of people talk to is the longer you wait is actually better. It's more probably a better, quicker recovery time as long as everything's back to almost normal as far as range of motion and strength when you have your surgery, and then. Because obviously, right after surgery, now you're back to doing that again. But yeah, a couple guys that we've talked to, said that's definitely the longer you wait before it, the quicker the recovery time is after it. So.
Well, we wish her nothing but the best of luck. Yep. Yeah, and Brian, we'll miss you next week, but we'll talk to you in a couple weeks, okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Brian Heimlich from the North White Lady Vikings, and Bill's got some interesting stats he's going to pass on right after this final timeout.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
All right, welcome back to Arnie's Pizzeria here in Rensselaer, across from St. Joseph's College. Hey, we got the some of the results in the first week of action here in girls basketball. North Newton Lady Spartans so far 1-1 on the young season. They lost their opener against Lowell 55-37. Came back to beat Covenant Christian in a close one, 52-45. Kankakee Valley Lady Cougars, Bob, what a gauntlet that they've had to jump through, and it hadn't been pretty for the Lady Cougs. I know we talked to their new coach this year, and he was hoping that they'd have a pretty, well, he knew it was going to be trouble getting wins, but my goodness, they've lost to the defending 4A state champion, Crown Point Lady Bulldogs, but get this, 70-17th. So that wasn't very easy to go through, I'm sure. And then on top of that, they had a game against Valparaiso to follow that up, and they lost 52-22. So a couple of tough ones for the Lady Cougs to open up with there against some top-notch competition. South Newton, of course, talked with Joe Keller, and he let us know that Rebs so far 0-2. They've lost North Miami 66-27, and then lost to Seeger after that 59-27. Tri-County, who we'll see tomorrow against Rensselaer, and looking forward to that very much so. They lost their opener to Pioneer 77-42. That was last Saturday. Brian Heimlich, who just closed out the show tonight, again, we'll repeat that they were able to beat North Miami 47-40. So Lady Vikes at 1-0, and good depth on their scoring and throughout their lineup, even with the injury to Coach Heimlich's daughter. Luckily, that's one team that can handle a little bit of with the depth issues.
Right.
Solve that. West Central, Lady Trojans 0-2. They lost to Rensselaer and Delphi so far. Lady Bombers beat them 61-35, and Delphi beat West Central 48-30. Annika Smith led West Central with 14 points and 11 rebounds. And the Bombers, last but not least, 3-0 start. Boy, that's really exciting for Coach
Absolutely,
Ranke.
and some teams they normally don't have they struggle against. So
Exactly. West Central was their season opener, and they knocked off the Trojans 68-31. Came back to beat North Judson 61-35, and then finished up with the game against Hanover Central yesterday, 65-39. And then the other thing, don't forget, we want to just remind folks one more time that Joe Keller has put together that nice program on Veterans Day tomorrow that you can check out anytime on the South Newton YouTube page after 7 a.m. It'll be posted, and that sounds like a pretty cool thing that a lot of fans, I'm sure, will want to check out.
We've seen Joe in action, and man, he does a great job with the video over at South Newton.
Boy, they are professional.
Aren't they? So
they might have wrangled out a student to work with us down the road.
There you go. Yeah,
I was talking with Joe a little bit before we had our.
Such a nice guy.
Oh, he is.
He
really is a cool guy, and really he's got a lot on the ball there going on. I think we don't see as much of that as we could if we had more time to get out and get to know these guys more personally and such. It's a lot of fun when you do that because you see what's going on in the individual schools, and just a lot of good things.
One thing I wanted to clear up here before we get off the air now, you're saying, why so few coaches tonight? Well, we invite all of our area coaches to come on the show. We invited every one of them so far. So if you don't see your coach that you want on here, maybe you can put some pressure on them to come to the show, because we've done our best to try and get coaches in here, and majority of them do, but some don't. So I'm just saying we've tried. I'm just going to put that out there that we've made the effort to try and get coaches in here. So
yeah, they've got to help us a little bit, and we love supporting the local athletes, and hey, it's fun. We just sometimes I think it's just getting them to come to a couple of them, and then they see how much fun it is, and it's pretty painless. So I think. Sometimes I think that happened in our football season. We kind of had a slow start, but boy, once coaches started coming, we had a great turnout, and they just want to thank all of our grid coaches for the way the football season turned out again.
Absolutely.
And hopefully basketball will be the same, because if it is, it'll be awesome, especially when you get going in the midst of the season when you have boys and girls going at the same time.
The Mist is coming next week, so next week will be the boys, and I've already talked with Billy Shepard from KB, Chad Pulver from Rensselaer Central, Sam Zachary from North Newton, Jim Sammons from South Newton, Mark Grettencourt from Tri-County, and Matt Sipkema from North White. So we're going to have those guys in there. So
super. That's it.
So we'll have girls and boys starting next week. But we've got 2 games to kick off our season, girls basketball season. Tomorrow night, tomorrow night video, it'll be Rensselaer, Tri-County, and that's a 5 o'clock JV start. We'll be on the air 6:15, 6:30. And then Saturday, it's Couts at KV early afternoon game. So
Right.
2:15 pregame there. All right.
All right.
I'd like to thank Scotty Miller, keep us on the air. Jeff Gastineau, keeping us on the air and providing good questions. Billy, always a joy to work with you. And to thank the coaches for coming in. Thank Arnie's. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow night on 3kgthecage.com.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.